Good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Barrow. We are here to talk about AEW November 5th, 2025. This episode of Dynamite left me shocked. All right, I can say that much. I was not expecting as many twists and as many turns as we got. Really quickly, let's start off the bat as strong as we can. There is a new title floating around the AEW scenes by the name of the National Championship. This will be fought in a tournament that will come to a full head at Full Gear during a gauntlet match, and this is probably going to be one of the biggest announcements for AEW of the week. All right, the fanboys are really upset about it, saying that AEW has too many belts, but wholeheartedly I look at this as another kind of Owens tournament belt, something that's simply a bragging rights, like something that you can say simply for bragging rights. I also want to apologize for the tardiness of this video. It's supposed to go up a lot earlier, but I was having some recording issues, so we're getting it right now, and that's the biggest piece of news I can give to you. Second biggest pieces of news is that my prediction was correct, and that the Fed did unfortunately fall under 1 million. Now there's a lot of factors that go into that, but as I said, on paper, it doesn't look good, and the vultures are harping. As you know, I already said respectfully, I will not be getting into that, but for anybody who wants to point that out when speaking about the Fed, they can now hold that. So, you know, you got to really just take it how you can. What we are going to be getting to is directly into this Dynamite, right? November 5th, 2025. It was good. It was really, really fucking good. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, and I was expecting actually to have a lot of gripes with it. But first segment of the night, we get Tony Schiavone out there, and he's confronted directly by Samoa Joe and the Ops. They test his nose, and it's nice. It's interesting, right? They try to see if that's the real Tony Schiavone or not. And they allude to Tony, being in cahoots with Hangman, right? Tony gets chant. Tony is very fucking over. They're chanting Tony shit, which is just very funny. Literally, Tony is saved by like a bunch of security. We have to imagine these are a bunch of up and coming wrestlers, and they protect Tony for the most part before Hangman comes out. When Hangman goes out there, Samoa Joe's like, fine, I'm just gonna hurt all of you. That's perfectly fine, right? And to Hangman's defense comes Eddie Kingston and Hook. Hook initiates a challenge for the Trios Championships tonight, and it was pretty good. Hangman is proclaiming himself to be the Hangman, and I just love that because that name is just so cold. It's a lot of really good things about this segment. Also, just makes sense on paper, and you can't be upset about that. So big shout out to Hangman for that, and also shout out to Hook for getting this promo across. Out to Hook for putting some real emotion into that small promo that he did. Samoa Joe just delivered it right back at him, being that there's history there. This was good. This was a really solid opening, and the opening match is even better. We get a match between freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and Claudio Castagnoli. These two have an amazing chemistry with each other, and it's a very, very great opening match. All right, I mean, Tony Schiavone calls it amazing, and I couldn't agree more. There's a lot of amazing back and forth between these two. Claudio does end up picking the win, but for a second, Orange Cassidy is right there. He ends up hitting like a mid-air orange punch. Oh gosh, Orange Cassidy is so fucking over. The only issue I think I have with Orange Cassidy is the lack of a story that AEW is giving him. I think if you just give him a simple story, you slap a story on that guy, and he is easily the next world champion. Really, really great shit from that. Small rant. Also, just kind of on the piggybacking of the new titles, the new title looks pretty cool. I'm kind of confused as to why TBS and TNT have their own respective belts. This is very small. It's very petty. It's nitpicking, not like a podcast that I don't have called Mostly Nitpicking. But it really does seem like I look at these belts and I just go, well, when are they going to get defended? Whenever they want to get defended. But they're channeled oriented belts. So like maybe shouldn't, like, every time you're on this channel, like every single week, I don't know, maybe that's me being greedy. Yeah, but the TNT and TBS titles, I'm just annoyed by them. I don't know what it is. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. I think it's maybe because it doesn't make sense, but maybe it just doesn't make sense to me. You know, little petty gripes that keep you fair and balanced with the Fed. Tony Schiavone makes a couple of flubs on commentary, but it's not too bad about that. You know, we're not going to get too upset. But between Orange Cassidy and Claudio Castagnoli, amazing opening match. We get a segment between Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher, where they're just setting up the stakes for this match. And Mark Briscoe really does a great job at selling this match. I was not as convinced that this rematch would be anything I wanted to watch, but I was sadly mistaken. You know, like, it is really intense what they can deliver. They say that if you join the conglomeration, they said if you can get this match, no disqualification with Kyle Fletcher, then and only then will you agree to the terms that you must join the Don Callis family upon losing. Now, obviously, there's some situation going with the Don Callis family to kiss, like, Takeshita and Okada. We're also seeing some segments with the Bucks, and also everything that's happening with Andrade. Realistically, Mark Briscoe is not going to the Don Callis family, but this kind of initiation of making Mark Briscoe go either do or die, it's nice, and we probably will be getting a Mark Briscoe championship run very soon. He's deserving of it. My boy, We Them Boys, is very fucking over. Okay. Next on the card, we get a segment between Athena, Mercedes, and Willow and Harley. All right, this is a part of the women's tag title tournament that is also going pretty swimmingly, aside from the injury, unfortunately, from Penelope Ford. Apparently, also Queen Aminata is injured, which results in a also, Queen Aminata is injured for the night, which results in a small switch up of plans. But I mean, this is a very, very, very good match. I really appreciate the kind of swagger and the kind of aura, for lack of a better word, that Mercedes Moné is carrying just as a result of her being so insanely over. I mean, Athena also, she's playing off of the kind of atmosphere that is being created by Mercedes. These two are absolute bona fide fucking superstars in that ring. Willow and Harley obviously go out there very, very over, and you know, surprisingly, Willow and Harley, they do end up picking up the win. Right now, this is an amazing choice as a result of Willow needing this push. She is your most over female face, hands down, no question about it. And if you can put her next to Harley, maybe even get Harley a kind of subsequential rub, hey, this benefits all parties. Okay, Willow, if she's going to progress and push and blow through this fucking tournament, and maybe it's gonna be a Willow Harley, Marina Megan Shafir for the Marina Shafir and Megan Bain for the end, like for the finale of this tournament. I'm perfectly okay with that. And if it goes either way, I'm perfectly all right with Marina getting belted up or Willow getting belted up. No issue with either. This is a really, really solid match. And as I said, Willow and Harley do end up going throughout the match. The chemistry between all of these ladies, so fucking great. I mean, Athena, Willow, Athena and Harley, Athena and fucking Mercedes. Like, this is great. Like, arguably match of the night. Very, very great match from all these ladies. What I will say also is that Willow is so fucking tough. Her smoke is so fucking tough. Athena is also probably one of the best wrestlers on the face of the planet. I'll say that until I'm blue in the face. All right. We get a segment between We Heard People and Ricochet. Okay. Now everybody's clothed in this segment, so there isn't a lot of argument or bickering or brawling. But this is, you know, kind of building towards the new title that again will be crowned and unveiled at Full Gear at the Casino Gauntlet match. Now, small thing here. The title is said to be very prestigious and dates back all the way to the origin of the NWA, which is like beautiful if you know your history on that. Also, it's said that Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley are going to be in this match as separate participants, meaning we can get an organic split of Hurt Syndicate somehow, some way. I'm counting on it. Nobody has to turn heel nor face. Maybe the two brothers just realize that they don't need each other anymore. That'd be pretty nice, right? All in all, though, this segment is just kind of a segment. I mean, it's nothing insane. It's nothing like out of the ordinary. Ricochet is definitely improving, you know, week after week, day after day on the mic. It is good. It's a good segment, and I'm excited to see what we can get from Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley in that Casino Gauntlet tournament match. For anybody who doesn't know, Casino Gauntlet, basically a bunch of people come out, and if two people pin each other in the middle of the ring, that person's the winner. But realistically, it's going to be a 1v20, so you know, you could do the math on that. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good idea, and I'm excited to see what we can get from it in totality. All right, next match on the card, we get Garcia, right, the Danny Boy versus Darby Allin. All right, this match is a little bit shorter than I anticipated, maybe a good 10 to 11 minutes, but it is an amazing showcase of Darby. It is an amazing showcase of Daniel Garcia's offense, and it is a brilliant showing of Darby Allin's resilience. All right, this is for the Blood and Guts advantage match, same as earlier with Claudio Castagnoli and Orange Cassidy. Same with Claudio Castagnoli and Orange Cassidy, and Darby Allin ends up picking up the win, leading to a split tie, one team. This match will progress into, I believe it's Collision, on next week's Dynamite. Roderick Strong versus Jon Moxley, which realistically Jon Moxley's either going to find a nefarious means to get over, or Roderick Strong is just going to show his fucking ass, something he's very, very capable of, and pick up the W. We love that. All right, it's a double Scorpion deathlock to finish this match. That was pretty cool. Darby hits one after getting hit. He hits one after Danny Garcia hits one on him, so that was pretty nice. But yeah, this is a very, very, very fun match. I had a lot of fun with this match. Something else that was very, very fun, a segment between FTR and Bandino's grandmother, bro. I told you last time she was on camera, she was the most wholesome thing in that fucking Okada and Bandino match, and now FTR, they have to try to make this promo work with the sweetest, most like kindest, most like adorable abuela. And like they're really trying to make the heel thing work, but like you can just see it on her face. She's enjoying this so much. She's having such a good time. Dax, after berating Bandino, calling him one of the worst wrestlers on the planet, to his grandmother's face, by the way. Insane motion by this nigga Dax. Like insane type of motion this nigga Dax is on, right? He sits here, he gets slapped by Abuela, and Bandino's brother hops the gate. He's also a fellow luchador, to get jumped on by Dax and Cash, right? And we see that Stokely has locked Bro Dino in their fucking locker room, right? That leads to the segment with Abuela. After Bandino's brother gets jumped on, Brody King punches a hole through the door or the wall, one of them, and unlocks the motherfucking door. Insane shit. It was actually very funny. I popped, and this led to an obvious setup for FTR, Bro Dino, Full Gear Tag Team Championships. You know, if you want to share my opinion, if you want to get my opinion on this, I really do believe that we should be getting FTR going over. I just think that that's the smartest move. They're one of the best heels in the industry-wide right now. And I think that is their time to shine. They could do so much fucking wonders with this company if they take the reins. I was really, really pleased with this segment, all right? Next segment on the card, all right, is a match between Mina Shirakawa and the one, the only, Megan Bayne. All right, Toni Storm was on commentary for this match. As I say, same thing with Don Callis, Jon Moxley, Toni Storm. Amazing on the fucking comms. Like, truthfully, generational shit on those comms. She ends up getting yoked up like halfway through this match, and she ends up getting yoked up by Marina Shafir. She's like, Tony Schiavone, Tony, help me, Tony, help me. And it's really funny. I popped pretty bad. This distraction obviously led to Mina picking up a loss for this for this advantage match for the women's blood and guts match, which, you know, due to the Queen Aminata injury, is taking a slight change. You know, wishing all these women a safe recovery. And I also want to say that moving forward, the production just has to be tighter, and we just got to keep our wrestlers safe, you know. I'm really excited for this women's blood and guts match, though. I want to see women blading. That's what the sport's all about. You know what I mean? That's all the sport's about. That's what the sport's all about. You know what I mean? I really do fuck with also the presentation of Megan Bayne. Super strong, super powerful, and she is kicking ass, okay? No other fucking better way to display somebody than doing that. Last match of the night, we get Ops versus Hangman Adam Page, Eddie Kingston, and Hook. Now, thinking on it, Hook and Eddie Kingston don't exactly have a name yet. Not really too big on that, but it just kind of seems like they're more of an unlikely pairing. So kind of like a Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair kind of thing. They're just not supposed to have a name because they're not supposed to be a tag team. Maybe, I'm not sure on that, but I would like for this presentation to be a lot sharper and for them to have a name. It would just be nice for the marketing of everything. Really down to the but down to a skeletal level. Like, this is a very, very good match. Hook goes out there, he shows his fucking ass. I mean, Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, Hangman, I mean, easily some of the better standouts. I mean, Samoa Joe has a bunch of amazing moments with Hangman. It's good. This is a very, very nice match. Hook, as I say, you know, he does have some amazing moments of offense, but due to Eddie and Hangman being taken out, this obviously leads to Hook picking up the loss. All right, not too surprised on that, but this is a very, very nice match. All right, Eddie Kingston going out there and having minutes with Samoa Joe, even moments with Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs, Hooks and Shibata. It just makes sense for the story of everything, and I was very, very, very pleased with this Dynamite. Again, I'm sorry about the release time of this. I wish it was done a little bit earlier, but a couple of technical difficulties. We will not let that hold us back, though. All right, am I right? All right, there are a couple more videos going out for the week, so everyone stay tuned for that. All right, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your whenever you're watching this. All right, and as I always say, stay safe and stay beautiful. Peace.